The Rubbling, a story of the current, is a brand new artificial intelligence art photography series by local photographer Thekiso Mokhele. The series has just gone viral because of the subject matter, which juxtaposes the recent Bree Street explosion with images of a fashion shoot. Now joined by the artist and photographer himself, Thekiso Mokhele, to find out where he draws this inspiration from. Thekiso, great to catch up with you again. We lost you a little bit earlier, but you will walk us through what inspired you to come up with this fascinating piece of art.
Thanks, Hugo. Basically, what inspired me was I wanted to put myself in that situation, like at the place in Joburg. So I blended my fashion photography background with AI to create a photo shoot with the hopes of creating awareness amongst people so that they can see what's going on, but also to start a topic, a discussion. And basically what I've gotten from that is that people are engaging with this photo like nothing I've ever seen before. South Africa as a whole has been sharing it, and people have been showing love. Some people have their opinions about it. They don't like it. But what I like most is that it highlights the issues that we're facing. I mean, if I was to create AI for all the things happening in South Africa, I'm sure I could have a book.
Well, it certainly seems like that. Now, let's talk about your art and artificial intelligence. Where did the love begin?
The love for my art started with photography. So as I've been doing photography, I wanted to know how to take it to the next level. So I recently saw a few posts on AI, and I found that very interesting because you can literally create a new world from nothing. So what I do is I blend my photography with AI to create something new, and that's basically how I got into it.
Now, how much of it is sheer talent and the rest just artificial intelligence? One would imagine that you may not need to be too skilled to do what you do. Would this be a correct interpretation, or is there great skill required to still employ artificial intelligence into bringing out a masterpiece as you've done?
What's nice about AI is that anybody can do it. Anybody can type in a prompt. You can just use your imagination and it'll give you something beautiful. It gets more technical when you want to create specific scenes. And with what I do is I mix my photography expertise and I integrate that with AI to have more specific renders that give me exactly what I want. So it gets tricky there, but anybody can use AI.
Now, the one thing that you've talked about is the fact that you've used a recent social event that's caught everybody's attention, and now you've employed your imagination to create these images. So let's go back before the explosion last week. Had you used artificial intelligence for any other pieces related to current affairs?
Yes. I'd used it for Mother's Day. I'd used it for the June 16 tragedy. I reenacted the actual happenings of June 16th with the youth there. And basically, I've been doing that for quite some time now.
So let's talk about this particular piece of work and the fact that it's gotten a lot more traction than you've ever got. What do you think has led to this?
I think it's led. What led to this was the timing of it and the actual the seriousness of the event and the lack of knowledge that people had as well, because people just knew that an explosion happened, but they didn't actually know what caused it or whatnot. So as they were asking themselves that question, this photo, the photo series came out, and to them, to a lot of people, it felt like there were real people there that did a photo shoot at the site of the explosion. So I think that basically caught people off by surprise, and then that's why they were so engaging. They were so engaged to it.
Now, do you feel any pressure to do better? Because obviously, if you've suddenly arrived at this place where everybody's now looking up to you because of these pieces of work of art that you've created, what does the future hold? Is there any pressure built up? Are you now looking for more live events or activities to focus on?
Um, Basically, with how I approach my work is that it can only get better. So I always challenge myself to do better than what I did before. But now it's different because there's so many people looking and watching, but I won't let that affect my process, you know. I'm not searching for any events or anything that's happening so I can do my AI or my art photography. I'm just moving on this journey of being a creative and coming up with amazing art. And if I'm inspired by something, I will go for it. So yeah, this has just been an amazing journey. Even though it happened overnight, that the whole of the country is viewing my art and people are saying it's amazing. So I can't let that pressure me too much. I just should just continue creating for the love of it.
Now, Thekiso, the one thing that you mentioned is that there were many people that absolutely loved your art, and then obviously there were the naysayers. And some of those naysayers might be speaking about the tragedy that is this event. And it's fortunate that I think there might only, very few lives, if all were lost. We understand that 45 individuals were taken to hospital, and all of those have been released. I think it might be 3 that still remain in hospital. So whilst it was a tragedy, there wasn't a huge amount of loss of life. Will this be a factor in future work that you do?
I mean, the loss of life is never good, and condolences to the families of the person that passed on. And my heart is with, and my prayers are with the people that were injured. Now, the thing is, I, 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 I display what is going on in society, you know. So if there are people that lost their lives, unfortunately, obviously I won't depict like such, but I'm just a reflection of what is going on in society.
Thekiso Mokhele, appreciate your time. The Rumbling, a story of the current, is a brand new AI art photography series by a local photographer depicting the Bree Street explosion from last week.